Hello guys, what is up? It's Shiny Espeon 66 and I have a Bakugan video. And not just any Bakugan video, something about the original series. That's right, we're abandoning Battle Planet for a minute. I'm sorry, Hydrus. But we are going back to the old school Bakugan. And I figured a good way to do that would to be kind of to show you, especially you newer people, people that are new to Bakugan that are like getting into Battle Planet but have never really experienced the original. I'm just kind of basically showing you a deck profile of my original Haos team that I used to play with way back in the day. Um, I'll do one similar to this with my Pyrus just to show it off because that one's a powerhouse of a deck. But I figured this would be a good place to start. This is like OG for me. So yeah, without further ado, I guess I'll show off my team here. So to start off, we have the Bakugan. So remember, this is an all Haos team. So first up, we have a Haos, a Haos, Wyvern. I feel bad, so bad. This was my kind of my main. This was my guardian. Um, yeah, she was a big player on my team. She wasn't a heavy hitter. She was more just kind of she was more there. I think of the two backgrounds, she did some of the least amount of fighting, but she was like the mascot and not more the like that logic voice for the team, you know. Because back in the originals, they had the Baku partners, and that was kind of what we always had. Is we had like our main Baku partner that was always with us. She has a grand total of 630 Gs. Now, if you guys don't know, G power was what they originally used instead of B power. So back then had G power, and cards would get boost or lower that, and basically the back end would it's the same as the B power, just B power is yeah, B power. Second up, we have my Haos Robo Italian, and not just any of the smaller one. This guy was my trickster. Let's see if I can. There we go. That should work a little better. But he was the trickster on the team. He was the main, like, crazy strategy that I used in the game. And so really, at 320 Gs, his job was to basically, and I'll show you with the cards, but he was to swap G powers with my opponent, who would usually have higher, and I would win. So it definitely really helped. So he came in a lot, and his low G power allowed for a couple of my other strategies. So he really was kind of a big guy on the team. He was the smallest one too. The main attacker. This is my Haos Nemesis. Oh wow, he's off. Anyway, so Haos Nemesis he's my brute. He came out and would just attack and attack and attack. 720 Gs. That was rough. Couple of cards he would get off the charts and just destroy. So it was really cool. So yeah, he's just the big brute. And I like him too. It's kind of funny. The paint for the G power has worn off a bit. You can't like we know it's 720. We've just kind of we accepted it and kind of because a lot of wear and tear. So now the cards. This is the main deck. So we have 3 gate cards and our 3 ability cards. For those who don't know, gate cards were the original metal cards. We used these. You had to have one of each color. And then ability cards were the soft, not metal ones that were used on before, during, or after battles. We had to have one blue, green, or red, and I knocked Nemesis over. And basically, this was how decks used to work. Now, there are 40 cards, and you have 6 Baku cores. So it's definitely a different game than it used to be. Fix the camera a little bit. So yeah, so we'll start off with the gate cards. So yeah, you have the 3. You have your silver, copper, and gold. And so we'll start off with the silver. The silvers were just very basic cards. They rarely had text. They were really just power changers. And so my silver, mainly was for the Haos of 200 and yeah, just 200 Gs. This one was this was just a powerhouse card. It was just there for brute strength. I mean, like Pyrus and Aqua's got 50, Subterra got 90, Darkest got 170, and Ventus got 110. So it was really kind of everyone else is below me on that card. So yeah, next up was G Power Swap. This was my copper. And this card paired very, very well with my Robo Italian. So what G Power Swap does is the text reads, the Bakugan have their printed G Power swapped. So the two Bakugan on the game swap G Powers. The printed G Power that is on them. And goodness gracious. Anyway, so basically if you have a 320 against like a 720 G Power Bakugan, if they're swapping G Powers, Robo Italian now has 720 Gs. That was huge for me. And then Haos also got an extra 130 G Powers boost. So it was kind of a, yeah, it really, really helped. So that's pretty much it for that card. But that was part of the main strategy. And I'll show you with the ability cards. There was an addition to that. Lastly is my gold gate card, Energizer. Or Energize. Wow, I butchered that. But it's okay. No, trust me, I know what I'm doing, okay? I know what I'm... So this one gives a boost of 210 Gs to Haos Bakugan, 100 to Pyrus, 90 to Aquas, 0 to Subterra, 140 to Darkest, and 50 to Ventus. So really, really comes out. But it reads, at the start of the battle, any player with more ability cards than gate cards in their used pile moves one ability card from their used pile to their unused pile. So basically, if I had... This was good for if I was losing... or just early game where I had used an ability card but I haven't gotten a gate card yet. It was good to get an ability card that that might help me out, or at least slow down my opponent. So it really, I didn't use it as much, like that effect, mainly because of the strategies I kind of have shown you, plus the ones that are coming up, that really, I could get 2 or 3 cards in quick. So... But yeah, it still helped. It was pretty handy. So yeah, now I will show you the lovely ability cards. We'll start with the blue. Originally, I had like the power triangle, which was great. It gave 50 Gs to my Bakugan for every Bakugan in the unused pile. Problem was that wasn't good late game, only good early game, and usually early game I wasn't looking to have an upper hand. It came in good at some points, and other times it just didn't work. It's great during big game, though, which I have additions. I don't have them here with me. I might have to do that later. But basically, big game was 6 gate cards, 6 ability cards, 2 of each color. And during big game, that came in really good. But this one I really enjoy. This is Gate Power Alpha. It gives 100 Gs to Haos, and it reads, play during a battle. Add G Power based on attribute once for each gate card your enemy has in their used pile. This was great late game if my opponent was still having an upper hand. If they defeated my strategies, whatever, this one came in. Now, granted, this would at least give me 100 usually, because usually my opponent would win at least one. So at times, this was a great card to have. So, yeah, that's that. My red ability. So my red ability is Cursed Roll. I like this card. I really do. I really do. So Cursed Roll, play at the end of your turn. If the next player to roll stands a Bakugan, you may make them re-roll once. This was kind of fun. I used it a bit because it really would piss off my friends. They'd stand, I'd be like, hey, you gotta re-roll, and then they'd miss. And that was always funny. I loved it when they did that. So that's really just to slow down my opponent. Or it's like if they land on a card that I don't... It kind of helps me to... Like if there's one card on the field and I don't want a specific Bakugan on there, it might help. So it just kind of... Because usually at some point in the game, you can kind of predict what Bakugan they're using next. So yeah. Last up is the green. I have Haos 2. This one is evil. This one is evil. Doesn't give any bonuses. But let me read it to you. Play at the start of a battle where you have a Haos Bakugan. If your opponent's printed G power is 160 or more than your Bakugans, move a gate card from your opponent's used pile to yours. I cannot tell you how many games I've won with this. I stopped counting at 3. No, but in all seriousness, this thing is wickedly evil. I've won numerous games with this, especially with Robotine. Yeah, 320. There's not very many Bakugan that my friend was using, or just in general, that were that low, other than Bakugan from that part of the series. And so, rarely were people I know using that. So really, this guy just came in, G-Power swap, and then later I could pull this. I've done it on the same card. I mean, it just... If you've ever lost to me because of this card, it sounds like a personal problem. And if you're going to do Haos and you want to play old school, I highly recommend this. It just... Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't run very many. During this deck, I didn't really use traps. I think I used my High Lash once, which changed me to Ventus and Aquas. This is like the kind of the base and kind of what I've kept it as since. I have a Mectagon. He's over there, but I didn't really like it in that sense, so it just kind of didn't work with this deck, really. Battle Gear, no. So really this deck is very, very straightforward. On the other hand, there's my Pyrus deck, which is just loaded up with like every kind of upgrade I can give it. So I will be doing a video on that real soon. Probably this upcoming weekend. I got really lucky today. We have those juniors, they have ACT testing this morning, so I don't have to go in till noon. Today, it's Wednesday right now. This will probably go up tonight or tomorrow. So it'll go up either the 20th or the 21st. Whatever I can do, because I have to like set up. I still have to edit it and all that. So we'll see what happens. But regardless, thank you for watching. I hope this kind of resonates with you older fans to kind of go, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember playing with those rules. I remember that's how we built teams. That's how we built strategy. And for you new kids, or just new fans in general, whether you've played the game, whether you're an adult and you never played, or you're a kid and you've never played, and you're getting into Battle Planet with these ones, I just really wanted to share where this game comes from. It came from this, and I think it's really cool to still look back and go, hey, I remember how the original game worked, or hey, I know all this legend, the legend of the original Bakugan. Regardless, yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow here. It's a lot of fun to watch how well I'm doing compared to like when I posted my first video. Oh my gosh, I should go look back at like all my old videos and like just kind of show you guys. It was funny too. I missed my 2-year anniversary like a month and a half ago. I started like January 2nd, 2017. That was my first video, so I'm getting off track. I need to pause it here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. I think that's it. See you guys later. I need some water. My mouth is dry.